Hi, my name is Mark Shields, and I lead PwC's technology capability and ultimately responsible for GenAI for the firm. I'm really excited to be here to talk about what we're doing with GenAI, how it's helping us on our S/4HANA migrations, transformations, and how we're going to apply it. You may have remembered last year we made a big announcement of PwC's $1 billion investment in GenAI. And a big part of that is really focused around kind of three key areas that we want to build up. One is around just our regular GenAI portfolio, how we're leveraging GenAI to build capability. And we think about it from an SAP perspective, what that means, what we're doing with Joule, what are we doing with what we're building out as our own chat PwC and building our knowledge in. How are we actually improving the quality, improving the intelligence and the automation for our implementation projects and how that impacts our clients. And then how we bring in specific industry and functional enhancements to the equation. So it's really that three-pronged approach that we're addressing as part of this. One of the things that we want to focus on as we do this is really around a couple key areas. Again, one I already mentioned. How are we improving automation? How are we improving the automation from our programs? How are we improving automation from a specific client business challenge that we're facing, a specific industry challenge that we're addressing? How are we layering SAP's overall GenAI strategy as part of that process? And as well as how are we reducing the risk of our programs? What we're finding as we grow our capabilities from an AI perspective is how are we reducing the risk of our programs? How are we getting smarter and smarter? Think about having specific expertise and capability from an AI perspective. How can an AP clerk get smarter about how they drive AP? How can a functional consultant in that area learn from leading practices that we build, learn from what SAP's evolved to from a overall cloud perspective? When we think about what do we do with RISE, what do we do with BTP, and how we address that, that's all getting focused into how we're going to market, how we're delivering our programs, how we're improving the quality, how we're automating, and how we're overall reducing the risk of the program. One of the ways that we do this is we think about it is how do we improve the overall solution development process or our software development processes. Think about it going from we're building functional specs, from requirements, we're going to how do we do the technical specs, we're going to how we do code. And figuring out how do we better automate that process, issues and kind of that going back and forth from a functional resource and a technical resource. How do we streamline that to make that more efficient? And then at the end state is how do we getting a product that's actually building on the quality of what we're delivering? That's a real key focus area. The other part is we go to market with our industry edge solutions, very focused on industry leading practices, whether that's building it from a baseline of our specific leading practice with SAP, Signavio, and how we build that business process model to all the key assets that we have around our industry edge. So from an energy and a utility perspective, as an example, there are very specific leading practices that we've developed in all of our programs that we've done over the years. And how do we bring that to every energy client, utility client, and how we deliver to that? And how do we start to layer in the specific GenAI capabilities that SAP is developing, and how do we augment that, right? Through how we deliver the program, through how we improve the quality of the program, and then how do we start to measure that in an ethical way that's critically important from our perspective, understanding the security aspects, regulatory aspects, but how do we do it in an ethical way so that we're able to trust the GenAI results and we're able to deliver it? This is definitely something that is near and dear to our hearts as we go through this, and something we want to make sure that we factor into this. The other thing that we're doing is as we think about the overall our industry cloud, how we develop in the SAP ecosystem, and how do we develop from a starting perspective of clean core. So when I talked about how we're improving our programs, we're making sure that our clean core adoption our clean core approach is built into that. How are we leveraging BTP as part of this to make sure that we're addressing all the different challenges that we have? Now I want to introduce Dr. Nick. Dr. Nick is actually instrumental on everything that we're doing from a PwC perspective as it relates to GenAI and SAP. He's really driving our strategic direction and driving all of our innovation. So, Dr. Nick, why don't you introduce yourself and we can get into some questions on GenAI and how we're doing there.
Thanks, Mark. So I'm Dr. Nick. I lead the PwC SAP strategy globally. I'm excited to be here at PwC after spending 10 years at SAP. And what I'm really excited about is some of the ideas and areas that we're exploring utilizing generative AI. So to talk about what we're doing in particular, what we want to do with our customers is basically utilize what's out of the box with SAP generative AI capabilities. And again, this is all based on your SAP RISE contract. So we have some key tools such as the Joule Copilot allows you to intelligently interact with your ERP environment. So all you need to do is be able to type in text. You can put in your leave requests, you can put in some key capabilities, and it will be able to provide that information for you. More so on top of that, we're utilizing SAP Build Code, which allows us to generate code to be able to support certain programs. Now, this leads us into the next section, which is developing industry solutions and functional solutions. So where we've been using SAP Build Code is our team, our ECS team, have been utilizing to build some of our products. Now, recently, we've won two awards, the Pinnacle and the Innovation Award. And that was around our product called CSRD Manager. So one of the key things SAP and PwC have in place is a strategy on how we can better support our customers around their ESG and carbon reporting capabilities. So SAP and PwC have co-developed the CSRD Manager. And with that, now we're looking at utilizing generative AI to be able to pull in manual reports, because currently we expect reports to be using information within SAP S4HANA or within a data lake. However, depending on where we are, there might be manual reports such as PDF documents, be able to extract those key metrics. So our team in Germany have developed some great solutions, auto comment, smart verdict. And what that does is that's able to read these manual PDF documents, extract key metrics, and even give you the exact location of where those key metrics are to validate that particular response. Then what we're able to do is mix that together with the information that's stored within SAP, let it be through your finance or the different kind of metrics coming in, and then provide these CSRD reports for our particular customer. We're also looking at doing that with information such as tax. So utilizing generative AI to be able to read this information, provide some tax insights, let it be corporate income tax or some of the other taxes that you have to report on. So some really interesting ideas around them. And then we're also working in the different industries. So we're already working with a large CPG customer on how we can utilize generative AI there with some of their products, and then also with an airline industry on how they can better invoice their customers utilizing generative AI. Now, finally, and for me, one of the biggest areas is the ability to utilize generative AI to augment the delivery of SAP S4HANA. Now, why is that important? Over 80% of customers are still running SAP ECC. So we're developing tools to help create functional spec docs, to be able to create test diagrams, to be able to generate process insights, to be able to generate all these key things that need to be as part of your Activate methodology to deliver SAP S4HANA in the most effective and efficient way. So holistically, we're utilizing the out-of-the-box technologies. We're working with key customers in industry, and we're delivering key capabilities, including ESG reporting and tax metrics and some of the other key areas which need to be done. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your time. I look forward to engaging with you and hopefully working with you on some really great solutions moving forward. Cheers, and jump on our website for further information.
At PwC, we're using generative AI to transform our internal business. We're energizing collaboration and inspiring creativity, driving sustained outcomes. More than our understanding of generative AI is our commitment to a responsible approach and continuing to build trust. Our passion for innovation drives us forward. Get more out of generative AI with PwC today.